Hello Internet, and welcome back to the Nihil channel. It's Chris again, and today we're doing another list video. The response to the last one, where I showcased what weird characters I'd want added to the game, was fantastic, and I plan to just keep it going. If you're really into Shining Force, then make sure to subscribe, because that's what this channel is all about. So without further rambling, it's seeming more and more like Shining Force Heroes of Light and Darkness is going to be a gacha game, which means we're going to need to fill out those character slots, and despite having some deep-cut ideas for characters, eventually we may need to just repeat some. Fire Emblem Heroes does this, and has created a lot of really awesome designs in doing that. And also, some designs I feel like I could do without. So without further ado, here are my top 10 variants of characters I'd like in Shining Force Heroes of Light and Darkness. My number 10 is Teo and Henri's alternate costumes. This one seems like a no-brainer because they're already in the base game as different outfits. I'm sure we'll get plenty of swimsuit versions of characters for fan service given the series' history, and to be honest, I'm not really into that whole fan servicey thing, but it does make the probability we get these two outfits quite high. I don't hate all fan service, of course, but it gets to be a bit much after a while. I think these costumes could still be a fun nod to a pretty well-known secret though, and I'd be fine with at least these two making it in. Number 9 is cover art Max and Bowie. On the covers of their respective games, Max and Bowie both appear looking rather serious and also rather unlike themselves. I like the cover art and everything, but it'd be fun to see those guys on the cover fighting for a change as well. Just super jacked versions of our favorite protagonists. I think the artists for the mobile game could have a lot of fun with it, making Max and Bowie look like He-Man as they cut down waves of goblins in a totally different art style. I don't think this idea is very likely, but if you're watching Hive, you can have this one for free. My number 8 pick is Resurrection of Dark Dragon Alternates. My guess is that we'll have a big event at some point that adds Resurrection of Dark Dragon characters, like Narsha and Moloch, and I'm hoping for variants for some of the characters that are already in the game. I just hope we focus on some of the more different looking characters, like Hans and Gort. I don't think this one is super needed, but it could still be a fun way to show some love to a game that I feel is pretty underappreciated. More Shining Force is never bad. In the same vein, my number 7 pick is Alternates from Shining Soul. Shining Soul mirrors the Shining Force games pretty closely as far as I understand. I haven't actually gotten to play them yet, but some characters are actually just in both games, like Xeon. I'm sure it's not exactly Xeon, it's just similar lore, but it'd be cool to merge some of these characters' ideas for variants. My real hope is that eventually we just add some Shining Soul characters, but that's a whole different video. My number 6 is Prototype Enemies. In my last video, I talked about the idea of some enemies being promoted to playable character status, and given some more unique characterization, and one of my hopes for this is that we get more lore out of the deal. We know the Ancients built a lot of the technological enemies throughout the series, so it'd be neat to go back just a bit further than that, to see what they were working with before the final draft. We could have a steam-powered laser eye, or maybe some wooden steel claws. There's a lot that could be done there. My number 5 pick is Farmer Max. In between Shining Force 1 and Shining Force CD, Max retires to work on a farm for a while, and it'd be cool to get some art of what he looked like during that time in his life. He could have a straw hat and be a ranged unit that uses the Teppo, the secret gun item from Shining Force 1. It doesn't do anything in that game, but we could finally add some functionality to it as he defends his new home from the hordes of Runefaust. This would also make it so Max has a ranged variant and could fill more roles in a team. Sounds like a fun idea to me. Going along the same line of thinking, my number 4 pick is Public Prosecutor Yogurt. Another hidden item in the first game is the Kenji, or the Public Prosecutor. It's a super weird thing to include, but we could keep leaning into that and just pair it with our joke character. Let him have a little suit, mustache, and briefcase, and he's off to the races. I just can't see any flaws in this idea at all. Holiday variants are inevitable, and some will be great, I'm sure, while others will be pretty meh. At least that's how it is in Fire Emblem Heroes. But the Halloween ones are usually pretty fun. You know, what if Guntz was Frankenstein, or if Lemon was a vampire? These could be pretty fun, I think. You should definitely comment below if you have a really cool Halloween variant idea, and hopefully we can all collectively will it into existence. My number 2 pick is Max and Kain swapping. I really like these sort of what-if style character swaps, so it makes sense to me to change Max and Kain up. What if Kain had washed up on shore and Max was instead enslaved by Darksoul? How would things be different? It's fun to think about, and it'd be great to have a skeletal Max wielding the Darksaber as a playable character. I can't be the only one who's into that idea. This leads us to my final choice, the thing I want more than any other: class promotions across games. I'm sure we'll get promoted and unpromoted variants of characters, and I'm totally fine with that. But I want to have an option to play as Pegasus Knight Pell, or Master Monk Chris, or Baron Gort. The possibilities are endless, and it'd be really fun to see what things would be possible if characters could promote to classes from other games. And that's my list. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope at least some of these things make it into the game. Let me know in the comments if you have an idea I missed. I'd love to know what you're all thinking and what strange things you guys hope make it in. That's all for now, but I'll see you again next time.
So familiar, we all know what's insane, so why not break the chain, break the chain.